What's up, guys? How's everyone doing? Hope your kind of days have been well. Hope you guys are staying safe, being healthy. I haven't gotten a chance to make a video yet. I've been kind of going back and forth on and kind of planning out a lot of the stuff that I kind of want to make and stuff that I want to curate. And I've also been talking to a lot of content creators about some of the things that they've been kind of going through, and hopefully I can create something that can help a lot of you guys. So today we're going to do something super simple, not a video that's going to be too long, but hopefully really helpful, which is 3 simple tips to really help you with a lot of your editing for your content. And a preface, this is going to be specifically geared to gaming content on YouTube and hopefully TikTok as well. You can translate a lot of this stuff to TikTok as well, but something that I think that I specialize in is understanding storytelling and understanding editing and really being able to discern what makes a good video and what makes a video that I don't want to watch past like a minute. Tip number 1, which is carefully pick your music. This is something that seems simple, but not enough people spend enough time picking their music. You can talk to any content creator outside of the game, even the gaming community, and they'll tell you they spend days just searching for music, picking the perfect track for the perfect video. And to go along with that, you want to make sure that your music is not over the top. Right? Like I see a lot of videos like for a moment that's like supposed to be funny and goofy and the music's really over the top. And you don't want to make sure it's too loud. Like usually you want to find like you want to mix it. You want to make the music loud enough where it can be heard, but not loud enough where it's overtaking the moment. The music's supposed to be in the background, unless it's like an action moment and you don't need to hear the people, then you can make it a little bit louder. So it takes over the moment a little bit if that's your intention. But if like people are supposed to be talking and it's supposed to be like a funny moment and the music's a little too loud, then it stops being funny and it starts being like look, this is funny instead of like being funny, if that makes sense. Like when you pick your music, you want to make sure it's on the same emotional wavelength as to what you want the audience to feel. And part of that is when you listen to it, you want to feel what you want the audience to feel, if that makes any sense. I pick a lot of like music and soundtracks when I'm trying to write because it's like certain characters that I'm writing about I want the audience to feel a certain way when they feel a certain way. And the way I can understand that is by like listening to certain tracks that like make me also feel that, so that when I'm writing that moment, I'm listening to that track and I'm like, ooh, this works. Or I'm like, ooh, this is not on the right wavelength, because I can understand it a lot better. And the last part about this first tip, which is you want to edit to the music. An easy way to do that is if you're on Resolve or any platform, editing platform, you're able to expand the track and see the wavelength. I know After Effects, you have to press L twice or you have to go down into the waveform. Other platforms, it's like Resolve, it's easier. You can just expand it. You can drag and expand the audio track and you'll be able to see it a little bit better. And then you'll be able to see the wavelengths. You'll be able to see the beats. Sometimes like if you're doing a TikTok and you have like a really cool moment, you kind of like find it where you shoot the bullet, or when the moment happens that's cool, or the moment happens that's funny, you kind of line it up with the music so that the music adds to it. It's not off sync, it's synced. A good example of this actually is if you watch some of Jack Frags and Stoda's videos, and a lot of those content creators in their kind of community, as their kind of gameplay is like their Warzone gameplay is starting to like end, and they're getting closer to the win, you'll start to like hear like a music track starting to play in the background, and it kind of like heightening a lot of the tension, because part of what makes Warzone exciting is like those like end moments that are like tense. They're like super like, ooh, what's gonna happen here? And he starts like adding that music to like ramp up the tension, and it makes it really exciting, and like you kind of like almost like want to see that like main drop happen. They usually use like the Modern Warfare theme because it's really good for that. It like really like builds up and then hits really hard, and it like fits really well with like the actiony, the tension of that. And I think that's a really good track to use it in that end moments. I've used it myself on my other channel, the one that I was trying to use for gameplay stuff. But that's a really good track for that. It's stuff like that you really want to look into, music that really sinks in with certain moments. Tip 2 is you want to start thinking about the edit well before you actually boot up the program and start editing. This part of this process becomes a lot easier once you start editing over and over again. You want to be able to think about everything that you want, everything, and the way you're going to put it together, and you want to start like polishing that in your head over and over again, to the point where when you then boot up the program, you know exactly what you're going to do, because you don't need to figure it out. You have a good idea of what you want, and that's really important. Because once you know what you want, you know exactly what you need in order to accomplish that, or you have a really good starting point for that. Part of what I think a lot of Warzone content creators struggle with is they think doing really well in the game results in good content. And I think that, like, I don't know enough about Twitch. I'm sure that is somewhat right in there, but in YouTube, not all high kill gameplay is equal. I'll find that, like, I'm watching someone's gameplay and I'm just like, in a minute, they're doing really well, but I'm just bored. Part of this tip is to think about the audience. And so, for instance, if you want them to, like, when you focus up and when you start playing on a high tier, right, like near the end or whatever moments, and you want them to really be there with you, really be engaged, maybe like having moments of goofiness and moments of levity before help, or having moments of interactivity where you're talking, where you're telling jokes, where you're telling a story, or whatever it is, really then adds to, when you then serious up, the audience is there with you. They're right with you, and they're like, oh, I'm into this because I've related to this person, I've shared something with this person, I have laughed with this person. Like, to me, like, people to watch are like Jack Frag, Stone Mountain 64. Those are really good content creators that it always feels like you're there with them, you've shared something with them, like you've laughed with them. And so when they're then at near the end and they're like in against all odds situation, you're rooting for them. And that's really important. Tip 3 is understanding your audience. This is something that's quite hard to do, but it's really important. And especially when you're starting out, I think a good way to do that is, like, any of the people that are coming in to look at your content, look at your videos, leave a like, leave a comment, even if it's one or two, it's important to follow them. It's important to understand what they react to, what they like, what they don't like, what they connect with. Because once you can understand what they like and what they don't like, then you can almost like cater to them and make a better experience for them, and hopefully make a better video in general so that more people can watch it. A good example of that is if you're releasing, let's say, like a gameplay for like Warzone, for instance, and if you put a small little clip right before the actual gameplay, if it's a really like, oh, you wipe out a squad, it's a really incredible feat you did, and they react to them, they're like, oh snap, and they keep watching, or like the watch rate for that video is high. And then if you try, like, let's say putting like a funny moment and it's low, then you know that what they react to is like that clip at the start, like, sells them on that, for instance. Vice versa. So if you do like the incredible like piece of like that you wipe the squad right at the start, and they don't really react to that really well, and if you put like a funny moment there and then they watch a lot more, and a lot of these stats are right available on YouTube for all of your videos, then you'll know that, like, oh, like, maybe I need to put a lot more funny stuff in like the start of my videos. Maybe that's what's capturing my audience. And honestly, like, even if you don't understand that, like, literally after they watch the video, just ask them, be like, hey, between these two videos, what did you watch longer? And if they say one or the other, be like, why? What made this video, what made you watch it longer than this one? And I think that, like, you'll be shocked to know how much people are actually willing to want to help, especially for a creator that they come back to. And I think that's important. And I think that's elements like those are going to make you look at your editing in certain ways and add elements to your editing. I hope that helped. If it did, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you want to see me on stream. I stream Fridays and Sundays. If you want to see me, you can visit me on stream. I stream on the weekends, Fridays specifically, and Sundays sometimes. Come by, say hello. If you want to know anything about film and any of the other stuff that I'm doing, you can visit me on the Connie Project on YouTube or any of my other social medias. I hope this video helped at all. I really hope it did. And if you have a tip, something that helped you with editing, leave it in the comment. I'll like and respond to everything. If you guys want to know something specifically, something you guys want me to cover, leave that as well. I'll start planning it and I'll start editing it and I'll start putting it together. And if you guys want me to cover something specifically, leave a comment and I'll try to get to it. I have a Discord link as well that I'm trying to integrate a lot of my viewers and get thoughts specifically on stuff that they're struggling with, so I can create content that's really helpful for not just any person, but very about people in specific. And hopefully I can help my community and help anyone else. That's about it. Take care. Peace.